sure. And I agree totally. And I think we'll have, together with the Web3, we'll now have the metaverse and all of these things. And I'm showing a lot of opportunities for architects, designers, and because you don't have, you have freedom to use your creativity and make anything you want. So how do you see this come from? How do you see the opportunities on metaverse for architects, designers?
Yeah, so now we're seeing all of the things that are happening. We're seeing a lot of this in the news. Obviously, AI is like the big boom right now, as you know, NFTs were maybe 2 years ago. Now it's this
Yeah.
AI gold rush. And metaverse, of course, was in the past year. So these are all technologies that I think eventually are going to all come together in some
Mhm.
way. Metaverse, I feel like the immersive technology is starting to evolve, and we're starting to get things like Apple's headsets, spatial computing, things like that. But the true metaverse that, is something that would be fully immersive for all of us that we can engage in on a daily basis is many, many years off. I think we're
Mhm.
going to be seeing VR, AR becoming much more of a daily or more regular experience. So that's really augmenting or enhancing our reality instead of replacing it. And I think that metaverse, what I think is really interesting about immersive experiences is that when you're thinking about design and architecture, I mean, this is virtual space. Who better to talk
Yeah.
about or deal in virtual space than architects and designers? It makes so much sense. And that's why I've been so vocal about it over the past years, trying to get folks in our industry to understand that these technologies are going to be very, very impactful to their daily jobs. I mean, it's like going from blueprints to CAD. Making the transition to digital. Now we're making another transition into virtual or augmented. And so, I mean, I think that architects and designers need to understand how this technology will impact them, make sure that they're somewhat educated on what it is and how it will function. But I want to remove the fear, I think, because a lot of folks I've talked to are just scared that it's either going to replace them or they're going to have to learn all this new software. But really, in reality, there are younger folks that are coming up now in school or are, in high school right now who will learn all of these things, and that'll be their whole world. And so they'll be able to come onto these teams and make that transition, I think. So, if anybody says that they're scared, I'd say, well, you can hire someone who's an expert in this to help you do what you need to do. You don't need to go back to school and learn all of these 3D or sorry, 4D, like Cinema 4D programs. You can hire someone on your team, just like you hired a social media manager or you hired an assistant or whatnot. So I really feel like there's a ton of fear because, of course, the unknown is scary and change is really scary for people. But I really feel like this is not something to be scared of. It's something to be curious and optimistic and excited about. And when we're talking about immersive space, I think designers and architects need to get into it right now, because what we don't want is for coders and software engineers and people like Mark Zuckerberg determining what our virtual and augmented experiences feel and look like. Those people don't really have the training to understand how humans function and what their needs are. And if we are in these immersive environments, it's just like being in an immersive environment at home. You need things like plants, natural light, sounds, all of these things that designers and architects are really well versed in, and they should be working with a team of programmers to make these things much more inhabitable for us as human beings. So that's my metaverse spiel. Sorry,